We are here on this earth to learn and to grow. And today we want to talk about growth. And growth is really all about love, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, growth is all about love. And so we can grow muscles.
That's about love.
We can grow plants. We have some of those in the background here.
That's also about love.
We can grow business. And these are all good things. These are all good things to grow. But we are going to find the most happiness by growing in the areas of our lives where we give love higher ground. So for me personally right now, I'm trying to grow love in our family. And the way that I'm doing that is making a commitment to shutting off the screens by dinner time. So after dinner, the idea is no more screens.
How's that working?
I'm failing. I mean, but I'm responding. The thing is that it's hard when you're just cutting it off. Like, I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I don't know about you, but it's hard to have screens, my computer, my phone, and then just say, okay, 6 o'clock, we're going to turn it off. It's hard for me to get that in my brain. So I have people reminding me that I need to do that. And I appreciate the reminder because honestly, I'm just forgetting. So this is what I'm trying. And the goal is to have more family time. Now, I bought these little conversation starter cards and I bought a puzzle because what are you going to do in this time? So we all get together. What do? Stare at each other? So I thought we need something.
What did people do before they had phones?
They sat around the radio.
Before the radio.
They talked. I don't know, but it seems to be a foreign thing for us. So I thought, well, let's get some helps involved. Right. Maybe we'll use them. Maybe we won't. It's winter, so that's why I thought a puzzle. Anyway, we have made some pretty good progress with those conversation cards. Our son Seth is quick to just get out that box and start, with the questions. So we'll do, up to one question a person when we sit together. And that seems to be going pretty well. We've done that
a few times.
No, you haven't been here for a week. He's been traveling, so he doesn't know.
Well, I've done it a few times.
But we've done it. The puzzle, though, I had to figure out, because I'm a neat and tidy person. I'm not maybe the best cleaner, but I don't want to look at a puzzle all week long. So I bought a dog kennel tray, plastic tray, that we could put this puzzle on that was cheap. And then I can just hide it under my bed and pull it out when the time comes. So I just got that, and so hopefully the puzzle action will be increasing here soon. But the whole idea is just to spend more time together as a family. Now, the rub is that this is not necessarily my personality. As much as I love this guy here and I love my kids, I am an introvert. I love to research. I love to learn.
I can totally tell that you're an introvert. It's funny. People who are introverts seem to love to talk into the phone and put themselves on YouTube. But when they're sitting next to someone, they just have a hard time making conversation.
It becomes a blank. I don't know.
It's true, though.
Yeah, but anyway, I am an introvert, and I love researching new things and learning new things. So I can go away with a book. I can go away with my computer and get lost in La La Land. And I just, I'm realizing that, gosh, we only have 2 kids left in our house, and one's going to be starting in college, and one's heading into high school, and we don't have a ton of time left, and I just want to really, make the most of this time and increase the love factor. And I think that it'll mean happiness, greater happiness, not only for me, but hopefully for the entire family and more memories. So anyway, so I'm about a week and a half in, just starting on this, and thinking it's a great idea. So apparently you don't think it's a good idea, though. You're not liking my idea?
No, I do like your idea. Why do you say that? Just because I tease a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Sometimes
your teasing always has just a little bit of,
I don't know. It's just a bad habit. That's the bottom line. But no, actually, I think it's a good idea. I'm very happy that you decided to do this for Lent, to give up the phone time because so many families today, they can all sit in the same room on their devices and not have any conversation with each other. So actually, this is a really good thing for us. Yes. I'm not a big game person.
I was going to ask you about that. He doesn't like games, so I thought maybe a puzzle. So puzzles are the same as games for you, right?
Well, I don't know. The thing is I can play games. I just have to get into it. Like there has to be enough time, and we settle in, and then that'll work for me. But and puzzles, I don't know. Didn't do a lot of puzzles growing up, but I don't mind doing puzzles. They're fun, especially when there's several people working on it.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of a community little event.
Oh, that's good.
Kind of working on it together. But anyway, and it's winter, so I thought, there's no snow, there's no building a snowman right now, and that might be, just something to try. So anyway, the other thing is that I was thinking about how growth is kind of like planting a seed, so the seed that I'm trying to grow is greater family time, quality time, love shared in the family, memories of love in the family. And so I was thinking about the humble, very fragile seed as a metaphor for this whole thing. Can you kind of see that?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah? No?
Elaborate a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Fill that in for me.
Okay, so the seed...
I understand seed and growth, but...
Yeah. Well, the thing I like about it, and we've talked about this in other videos, that seeds have a lot of anti-nutrients, a lot of toxins, and those toxins are in the seed to protect it until it's time to grow, right? And so what is going to make the seed grow? Well, it's going to be water. If I want a seed to grow in my garden, I have to plant it in good soil, and I have to apply water. Now, if our dog comes over and urinates on the seed,
that's a nice thought.
It's not going to grow.
True.
I'm trying to point out that there's very specific actions are necessary to get that seed to burst out of the ground, and a dog's urine is not going to do the trick. So in my case, I came up with a specific plan to try to water this seed. Now, it could be something else. You could do something else in your family if this is something you desire. This is just one thing I wanted to try that I think could produce growth. Well, we know that water can produce growth for a seed, but what is that water going to do then? Well, the water is going to actually break down some of those acids that are protecting the seed. And it's only by getting rid of these toxic elements in the seed that the seed can actually grow. And if you think about it in our lives, if we're like a seed and we're trying to grow, what kind of toxins do we have? And I thought of some that I just wanted to mention. Like bad habits. Sometimes we have bad habits that we've just been practicing forever. We have sinful habits, right? Or we have selfishness. We're kind of like on our own track all the time and kind of always looking out and trying to accomplish very specific things that are meaningful to us and not necessarily thinking about what's meaningful to others. So selfishness, and then woundedness. And woundedness can be our own fault, or it can occur due to the fault of someone else, someone trespassing against us in some way. But these are all kind of toxins that we can carry individually as we're trying to grow. And so what are some ways in which we could work on our personal sort of toxins and help to, can you think of anything that we could do that would help, you know?
Yeah, I could think of a few things. I mean, first of all, I want to say this about the seed is not only does the seed contain the acids, but the entire potential of the plant is in the seed, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's all there, but it has to have the right conditions in order to realize its full potential. And that's really the same for human life. So all the possibilities of a full human life exist in each person, but because of the conditions oftentimes of the environment or the soil, the home or whatever, sometimes that growth doesn't happen, or people's growth can be stunted because of things like bad habits or sin or maybe abuse or just whatever, being neglected or whatever. So I think one of the things, to stick with the metaphor, I think spending time together as a family is really a great way for that growth to happen, because the family is kind of like the nursery of each person in the family. So when you spend time together and you cultivate those relationships and you make memories and you laugh, even, sometimes you argue, but you joke with each other and you work together side by side and you do all sorts of different things in the family. And as you build those relationships and build the life of your home, each of the people in the home also grow along with that. It's kind of one and the same thing. But when families become isolated from each other, they get too busy and they're running every direction, and or everybody's caught up in their own little thing and don't talk to each other, don't share a meal together, don't work on a project together. Like last weekend, I had to go out and chop up a bunch of logs, and so I had the boys come out and help me. And I felt like it would be a good idea for them to use a chainsaw for the first time.
And they did complain going in, but don't you think guaranteed it's going to be a happy memory, a memory later on? You've done wood chopping has been kind of a thing.
Well, they didn't cut their hands or feet off, so yes, I think it's going to be a happy memory. But it was, I mean, my seventh grader, I let him use the chainsaw, and I was like, so Seth, were you scared? And he's like, whoa, it was kind of shaky, and it kind of made my arms cramp because
a lot of vibration.
But I mean, I remember my uncles taught me. I have a very vivid memory of my uncle teaching me how to use a chainsaw, and I know how to use a chainsaw to this day because my uncle taught me how to do that. My dad wasn't the big chainsaw guy; my uncle was, and that guy could go in any tree. And
didn't he love to chop down trees?
Oh, he did. He would go way, way up into these trees and hang out over these limbs with his chainsaw. He was crazy, but he never hurt himself doing it. So, but that was it was a memory. We did some work. They learned some things about safety using a chainsaw. Mm-hmm. We were kind of being men together. So anyway, it was good.
And it's kind of neat because it's like a life experience. Like you didn't plan that. It's just something we need to do around the house, and getting everybody together on it is the win part. That's the win because it becomes a memory. It's a family lesson. It's a community activity. It's all these good things. And it's amazing how we can just be very separatist, sort of in our own home environments instead of trying to get a group activity going and working on something as a team. I think one more thing to mention before we go is the idea that no one has to be perfect. It's not about perfection, right? So we need to let go of that. We can plan something. We can hope for growth. We can put some action into place, not urinating on people or things, but,
but really stuck with it.
We can have a plan of action, and we just know that it's not going to be perfect, but we know that we can always get up again. We always just get up. We just plan on having things. It's not going to go perfect. Like my puzzle is still coming around because I didn't think about the fact that I need a tray. But it's still coming. It's still coming along, and it's a setback, but I'm ready to just get back up and get back in the game again and really try to work on this idea. And just to recognize the fact that it's not about perfection, it's about growth. And the other thing is that, it's not about trying to get anything done in a quick amount of time either. This is like a lifetime process. This is something we have things that we just constantly need to be working on. And like I said in the beginning, there's lots of goals. We're working on other things where the end isn't so much greater love necessarily, but maybe something that would just help our family to just have a better family life. And then one more thing I wanted to mention is just the idea of self-talk. So when you have a growth goal in mind and you're working on something, you have to be so careful about how you talk to yourself. And I think people have words going on in their brain that they don't even realize. And oftentimes these are words we actually should reject and say, no, I'm not allowing those words in my mind because they're not helpful and they're not godly. Don't you think? Have you ever had that experience of, just self-talk that kind of drags you down and zaps your hope a little bit?
Well, I think often what makes that happen is when we try and then fail, and then we feel bad, and then we beat ourselves up over that. So part of growth is just, it's got to be slow and steady. I think sometimes we try to grow too fast, or we try to take on too much at one time instead of being patient with the process and just allowing enough time to pass, making little tiny baby steps along the way, and then you don't experience as much failure. Actually, you have little successes that add up to a big success long term. Versus, I'm gonna make this big change in my life within the next, even 90 days. People say, oh, you can change a bad habit in 90 days. I don't know. I mean, I've been at some bad habits for, probably about 5 years,
Some
and
are
sometimes
more
I still
bad than
kinda,
others, right?
still working on it. But anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
So I'm kind of curious what goals you might have. What do you think of this whole idea? Are you working on anything right now? So it would be great to hear from you in the comments. I'd like to hear other family goals or things that you do to create more community in your family. So this whole puzzle thing was just like one idea. I'd love to hear things that you might be doing that you feel like are really building quality family time together. That would be awesome. So thanks for visiting today, and we hope you'll like and subscribe to this channel. We are here.
you got Okay, start.
No.
Yeah, start.
No.